Hey guys, we're continuing with part 2 of the poker tournament that I won over the weekend and for the Spare Change Challenge. I basically doubled my bankroll. So we ended on this hand where I tripled up basically, not quite tripled up, but had won a pot worth 91,000, so we have something like 150,000 stack, I believe. Yeah, $145,000 stack going into the next hand. So we're definitely, I guess, in the middle stages of this tournament now. Pretty confident that we're in the money by this point, and if we're not, we're very close to it. This is hand 141 of 505 total hands that were that I was able to pull down off the poker site. I'm guessing there were maybe more hands played because it looks like a few hands are missing here and there. It looks like we had some errors when I converted these hands for use in Hold'em Manager, so keep that in mind. We may skip a few hands here and there. Hopefully not. Hopefully that was just a fluke earlier in the last video. Anyways, let's just keep going forward. So we have ace-queen suited here in the cutoff. And we're just going to raise and call off any shove from any player, including the one that has us covered. So we're just going all the way with our ace-queen here. Actually, I think we were just calling a shove here. So yeah, we called a shove, and obviously we're not going to fold if anybody else overshoves. So, but we do lose to 8 deuce, so that's pretty crappy. It was a pretty nice sized pot too, so we would be at like 200k, but that's okay. We still have 116,000, so you can't win them all. You got to expect to have good hands. You're gonna have swings in tournaments. It's gonna be a roller coaster. So now we're just back to our plan. We only have 23 big blinds, but we're just still going to try and pick up as much dead money as we can. There's a lot of dead money already in the pot, like over 10k, before anybody even plays because of the antes and such. So we're definitely going to still keep stealing aggressively. This guy shoves, and we're obviously committed to call here, so we just do. And we flop gen. So I guess we just shove now and hope this guy had something. He did not, but we still hold. And we get back a lot of those chips we just lost. So that's good. We're back up to 31 big blinds, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're in a fairly fast tournament, it's manageable. We certainly wish we had like 300k right now or more, but we're probably among the chip leaders, so we'll have to take what we can take. So now it's just all about maintaining and slowly building a stack, or rapidly building, whichever, but we want to definitely keep our big blinds above 30, preferably more than that. We want to keep building a stack. We don't want to atrophy at all. And if we do, we just got to go into shove mode to get back in the tournament. Because if you're this guy or this guy, you're just dead right now. So if you don't have at least 100k right now, you're pretty bad shape in this tournament. So we're gonna fold the 6 deuce, I'm sure. Probably not playing the 10-5. Pretty straightforward stuff. We're just looking to steal in the right spots. Certainly going to get it in with the ace-king here, though. If I remember correctly, I guess my HUD stopped working. This guy was really aggro, playing a lot of pots. And I was just waiting for a hand. I mean, I didn't even need a hand this strong. I was just looking for like ace-9 or better, or king-queen to get it in versus this guy. And of course, the monster, he was just never folding, and he was winning everything. I think he had built his stack back up from like 15k to this, and then we got this hand. And I'm able to hold against ace-7. Now we have a fairly nice sized stack. Maybe even one of the chip leaders for the tournament. So that's always good. So I was a little fortunate to find a whale still in the tournament this far in. I'm sure the bubble has burst so far. We're already in the money here, so I think we're just positioning for the final table. Certainly going to steal a hand like 4-6 suited. It's always nice to raise and take. Yeah, I can see why we're calling here. There's just so much money already out there. It's only 9,900 chips, and we're just trying to win a pot here. So there's 55 out there already. So I think, yeah, this kind of sucks. I mean, because it's a tournament and we still have 30,000 left, 300,000 left after we call, I don't mind a call here to try and gamble and hit a, even if this guy overshoves and we have to fold, we still have 300k chips, so I kind of like a call there in the tournament just to gamble and try and hit a club. Unfortunately, the poker gods rub it in our face because we folded. Been nice if this guy could have checked the turn, but whatever. I guess he's protecting his hand. Good for him. There was no side pot, however, so if this guy wins, he just wins nothing anyway. Alright, but we can't be concerned about that. We just have to move on. Pretty sure we're on the final 3 tables now, if I'm not mistaken. Wish we could play the 8-7, but we can't. Alright, so we just flop a flush. We're just going to bet. And I like the limp steal thing that I've been talking about. Like I said, nobody else is allowed to use that play. That is for me only, right? So don't even think about it. Just keep doing your normal plays. I like the aggressive stealing I'm doing here for middle position. We're getting a pretty good price here. Not the worst price, but I think a fold is fine. We're not getting 2 to 1. I'm only getting 1.7 to 1. I think if we had ace-3 suited, we'd have to call there, but king-6 suited, it's probably neutral EV, but just to conserve our spot in the tournament, I think it's fine to fold there. This guy is probably really strong. It's certainly not horrible to call there. I think if we had another 100k chips to play with, we might call there, but I think it's fine to fold. But I like the aggressiveness. Certainly never folding this hand. It looks like we're going to get it all in. Probably with the best hand here. And we do hold against ace-6 and ace-queen, so that's good. We now have around 430k, I guess. So now we're in the big blind. See, I think we're on the final 3 tables now, if I'm not mistaken. Keep getting moved tables, which I don't like. So I like the speculation here with the 8-9, but we're not going to see a turn, so it's fine. I'm just going to keep the aggressive opening up. We flop Gen here, but I think we bet a little too big, and we don't get action, so oh well. I'd like to bet smaller there. And I like the raise and take. I'm just going to keep that strategy up of trying and get the lowest variance amount of chips in our stack that we can. Just kind of take the low-hanging fruit. I think that is kind of the strategy I just took for this tournament. It seemed to work out for us. So is this a limped pot? This guy limps under the gun. That's a little bit fishy. He's 1910. I'm a little bit wary of this. I think this is strong a lot. But I do like a lead, just in case he has like 7s and we'll fold. We do have the backdoor flush draw and a good shot. Once he raises here, though, he's just not got enough behind for us to call. Because even if a club comes, we're basically getting it in versus like a set of kings here or something. So because we need a runner and there's just not enough implied odds, I just think we just get away from this hand. It's fine. But I do like the lead. But his limp was really fishy anyway. I'm sure that's a trap. Well, pretty sure. You can never be sure, right? Pretty standard stuff. Raise and flop top pair. I think on this, well, it's kind of a dry board. I don't mind a check back and a shove on the turn, and I also don't mind a bet. I think either way works. And I certainly would just shove this, I think. We have, even if he happens to have us beat for whatever reason, I'd like to give him a chance to put it in with 10s here. Not that he's ever going to not 3-bet that, but if he had a hand like, I don't know, a 7 with a flush draw, I just want to give him a chance to put it in now, so I do take the conservative route. I'm assuming I'm calling any river bet here. Unfortunately, he was bluffing, and we got a card that he couldn't. He just felt like he didn't want to bluff. Like if another 6 comes or something like that, he probably bluffs again. So it's a little unfortunate to get that river. So yeah, he was weak anyway, so doesn't really matter what happened there. We just got an unfortunate run out. And we're just going to raise and take. That's kind of the MO right now. Certainly going to raise the 5s. I think we just bet this. Even on such a draw heavy board, in a cash game it would be okay to check fold this, but I think in a tournament we just have to go after this chip. So like 20-30k here would be fine. We could just safely fold if we get raised, but I think he's going to play pretty honest. Because remember, this is a scare board for him too. If he has anything ace high or pocket 8s or whatever, he's going to hate this board anyway, so just give him a chance to fold. A better hand. Or just take down the money in general. Such a premium on just taking the money down. I like to defend here with the queen 9. I think it's fine. I think the HUDs are all messed up. Oh wait, yeah, this HUD's probably supposed to be there, but whatever. So we're just going to check fold a 4-4-10. Not going to defend the king 8, just plays too poorly post flop. Keep getting moved tables, that kind of sucks. Either that or the hands are all messed up here. Hand history, which is possible. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. So we get called here, flop gin. I mean, I think it's a little too conservative check back, but I can see myself, the style I've had in this tournament so far, I could see myself checking back here. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. It's fine to call. We're never folding here. Even if he shoves here, we're calling. So. But he had a gut shot that he did not want to risk his tournament life on the river. Unfortunate for us, because we were surely calling if he shoved. I like the bet there. I like the check, and we're calling any river, I'm sure, here. And we did have the best hand anyway, so unfortunately he did not bluff. People don't seem to bluff as much in these as they do in cash games, I guess. And that's just a limp and take, which we like. Ace Jack's just a crap hand here. This is just really strength. This is Ace King, Jacks plus, probably something like that, I would guess. You're never going to see a weak hand when somebody does this in a tournament. I prefer him to shove even his strong hands though, because he's just letting the bad players speculate. He's probably going to get sucked out on quite often. Yeah, so we would have hit the nuts here, or near nuts. So yeah, he just min raised and let this guy call with Jack 9 and suck out on him. So he should have just shoved the Ace King. The guy folds the Jack 9, move on. He's got a decent chip stack, and except now he's out of the tournament. So don't slow play your big hands when the hands that you're going to get called by when you do slow play are going to have a lot of equity against you. Don't do that. I like the raise here with the 5-7. It's kind of a tricky flop, I think. I think just betting once is fine here, like 35k, and then giving up. I guess we have to bet the turn now because it's kind of a scare card for everything. Once he does this, we just fold. He's probably slow playing something from the beginning. Don't really like the size of my bet. I think smaller is better. Certainly never folding. We're just going to 3x and get it in here against any raise. I think we're on the final 2 tables now. I'm pretty confident we are. Yeah, definitely raising that all day long. Just an easy C bet, and we're going to take this down 80% of the time, I would imagine. Because he's shoving all of his aces pre-flop, so he can't have an ace. So if he wants to hero continue with a queen, I mean, that's the only thing you're going to see there. Just looking to get it in there with the ace-jack. You notice I'm 3xing against the short stacks. I just want them to either put it in or fold. I don't really want people speculating. I just want to take the easy money. That's kind of my MO right now. So we're going to get them all in here. And since we're down to 2 tables, I think we can watch some of the hands play out now. Wow. Interesting pot. 7-10. So we got a flip there. Yeah, it sucks to lose a flip at this point. Final 2 tables with so much money at the top. We get a walk there. That's pretty unusual. I like the call here because this guy's so deep. I think we're going to have the best hand post flop anyway. We just lead most flops, get the same damn result as if we had just shoved. And we have a 3-way pot, so you know, this guy's raising under the gun, so we don't really want to flip right now. I don't want to flip. I mean, it'd be nice to have a million chips, but we got a pretty good route to the final table right now. We almost got a final table stacker if we don't already, so why risk it running into a monster here and just end the tournament now when we've got so much equity in this tournament right now? So that's why I like the flat. Shit. Sorry. So we get the horrible flop, and I guess we're just check folding now. So it looks like this guy slow played something, and then this guy turned a monster. So I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I don't remember this hand, but I wouldn't be surprised to see like ace king, ace queen, pocket aces, pocket kings, pocket queens, and something like, I don't know, king queen, threes, jack 10. I mean, it certainly could just be a cooler, but this looks strong. I mean, this is at least a set probably, if not a straight or something, to play like this. This certainly could also be like ace queen or ace king, but doesn't he bet this on the flop? So yeah, I think I would take all aces out of this guy's range. King queen, pocket threes, jack 10. That's his range right now, I'm pretty sure. So if this guy doesn't have that beat, he probably should just fold. But I'm assuming this guy has like pocket. This guy could have like pocket aces, ace king, ace queen though. That would be pretty standard for his under the gun range, but he shouldn't be slow playing that. Anyways, not to delay things. So yeah, this guy had ace queen, slow played it, and this guy got there with a gut shot because he slow played it. So it's pretty dumb. Moving on. Don't slow play in tournaments when you're close to the final table. It's just, you're just asking to get coolered out of the tournament. So I raised the 9-10. Once again, we're deep. There's really no reason to go crazy here. I actually like to realize equity here and just check back. If he checks the turn, we can just bet. But I think checking back this flop is fine. It's not one we want. If we had like 250k chips, we would just pound and try and just blow him off whatever or get it in. But we certainly have to bet this turn now. I mean, I could understand checking this back if we think he's fairly strong, but I think he's just going to have a weak hand, and it could be queen high, could be ace high, maybe he calls with ace high, but I think we have to bet like 60k here and just try to take it down now. I don't like the check back, and now we have to fold. So, I mean, I like a bet on the turn. I think I misplayed that, but it's fine to be conservative in those spots. There's nothing wrong with it. So now we're just raising ace king, hoping to get it in. We don't, unfortunately. Wow. I'm assuming we would be calling this until this happens. This is super strong. So, yeah, we're just folding here. So, 10s versus ace jack and king queen. This guy had a ton of overcards. He had like every Broadway to fade, so yeah, sucks for him. So this guy wins a big pot. I'm assuming we're calling here to speculate. I kind of like a lead there. I know it's 4-way, but I kind of like to try and go after this dead money, bet like 50k. I don't really like the check. You're just letting, I mean, we might have the best hand, that's sure, but we should be protecting our best hand if we can, and building a pot in case we did hit a flush. So I don't think this guy folds the turn anyway, but yeah. I mean, wouldn't a flush have been nice to hit versus this guy? But Yeah, I mean, it's fine. Aces, huh? Lots of aces. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're definitely on the final two tables here. So we got a pretty good route here to the final table. We just need to play smart, I think. Certainly should be opening a hand like that, but obviously we don't get the chance. Certainly going to open that and call this off if he shoves. Wow, this guy just letting himself whittle down to nothing. I think this is an easy fold versus a 21-8. Yeah, easy fold. He's way ahead of our range. Why does this 17-9 up here? What player is this? Player 9-7-6. The HUDs are all in the wrong spot, I think. Actually, I don't know. This player isn't even on the table, so I need to just refresh. Okay, so that was like a ghost HUD. That's kind of weird. So we got rid of that. I think we call this. Yeah, that's an easy call. It's just too good of a price. We're going to try and check it down with this player here. Check down. And this guy had the nuts and didn't bet the river. Not the actual nuts, but the virtual nuts. Yeah, he should be betting that all day long, just in case I happen to have a 10 or an 8 or anything, or a jack. Why is he not betting that river? It's kind of weak sauce right there. I'm not sure what he's doing. Is this the actual next hand? Yeah, it is. Okay. So yeah, I think on the final two tables with only 16 big blinds, with the stacks getting kind of deep, this is definitely a shove. I like it. Yeah, we have to shove there. I mean, it kind of crept us up on us, didn't it? The blinds have just kind of just going up. So we got to start playing aggressively. I mean, we're on the final table bubble. We don't want to go into the final table necessarily as the short stack, do we? So we have to start playing aggressively. More aggressively. Get it all in here. Wow, cooler time. This guy had 8 10s. Of course, he's still in it because he was a giant stack, but man, what a good time to pick up aces. So I'm assuming I would shove this, right? I think just an open is fine, but we're not folding. Yeah, this guy's tight, so we can fold to his reship, so yeah, I like the open there versus a shove. I think it's superior. I like the limp. I like to try and just see a flop. I think we have to call one street. Wow, that's really, really nitty. Okay, well, apparently I am a nit. Certainly opening and calling it off versus most players with the ace-jack. Wow, look at this crap. It's a good spot. We might be on the final table soon. 3-way all in. Did the biggest stack win? The second biggest stack won. So that's almost a double knockout. Wow, this guy's got a giant stack. Alright, good for him. Another all in. Man, this guy hits a deuce on the river to stay alive. Wow. Good for him. I mean, spoiler alert, I think we see a lot of this going forward. A lot of people hitting rivers and such. It's kind of a sick final table. Alright, so I think we're 10-handed right now. So we're on the final. Oh, actually, that was it. Somebody got knocked off. So this is the final table here. And I guess we have time to go ahead and play a few hands. The final table goes fairly quickly until it gets down to short-handed. So we'll go ahead and run through. I pick up 7s on the first hand. And I don't think I had a read on this guy yet. I think he came from another table and he just flats. I think this should be a shove here. But being the nit that has not been on a major final table in a long time, I probably just call here. Yeah, I should have shoved there. That's an obvious shove, I think. I think I'm kind of wary about all the trapping going on. And I just took the ultra-conservative route. And I even took a super conservative route on the flop. I'm glad I did now, but... So I think if I just shove pre-flop, I'd probably take it down pre-flop. So that was a mistake on the first hand. And I am the short stack. So I should have played that aggressively. I don't know why I folded the sevens. That's a huge mistake. Just right off the bat here. So I am the short stack, so I've got to get active now. I cannot screw around. I think I had kings. So we get a raise. These guys are deep enough to play pots. Let me refresh the HUDs here. So I think they were off. Yeah, so I'm in dire straits here with 8 big blinds. I think I'm probably just trying to move up a pay jump now. I'm kind of just, I'm definitely getting called if I shove, so I'm kind of nut camping, and I'm just trying to get through one more revolution. Hopefully somebody else gets coolered, or we just happen to pick up a big hand. I don't ever like getting in this spot. I think we kind of just backed into it on accident. We had a chance with the sevens to get up to like a 700k stack. We pretty much screwed that chance up. So we definitely made a lot of mistakes in this tournament, so we're kind of lucky. But we'll just continue on, see what happens here. So we're definitely folding this. Yeah, and this is just a standard shove all day long. We managed to get it through, so we buy another revolution around the table. So that's good. And we get a raise. I think this is a fold. I think his under the gun range is going to be way too strong here, even though he has a bigger stack. I think if we're going to play as conservative as we have so far, I think we might as well just continue on with that theme. I just like a fold here. It may seem hugely nitty, but I think we're just basically just getting it in bad most of the time. And hindsight, looks pretty good for us. Looks like our king jack was not doing well. And this guy ended up having aces, so we would have been out right there if we had shoved our king jack. And this guy lost a huge pot. I'm not sure why he's shoving ace-10 there. That's kind of crazy. I don't know what he's thinking there. He must have had some kind of read on this guy. I don't know. Okay, so we pick up ace-king. So this is what we've been waiting for. Don't think slow playing is what we're going to do. We're just going to shove into these crazy players. This guy that calls with ace-10. This guy just lost a big pot, remember, so he may put it in light now, so I like the shove. And he does put it in. And we get a three-way all-in, which is fine. I mean, that's what we want, right? Even if this guy has kings, we're okay with this call because we just want a chance to get a relevant stack in this tournament. We flop a king, we're feeling pretty good. We get a spade, we're like, no spade, no spade. And we did have to fade the spade on the river, so we had a lot of cards to fade there on the river. But we ended up in a really good spot pre-flop. Basically, these guys are almost drawing dead pre-flop. They cancel each other out. We just had to avoid a 3 or deuce, but we hit our king, so we're golden. So now we have a decent sized stack. We have 1.2 million, which is definitely not the big stack, but we're more third or fourth place now. So we're definitely relevant all of a sudden. So you see how quickly things can turn around in these things. So we're definitely looking good. So we're going to go ahead and play this down till we're about, let's just get through, because I think this goes pretty quick up until 3 or 4 handed. And we do have queens hold up against the ace of 8, so another guy goes out, so we moved up another page jump. I think the first place prize is, I'm trying to remember, something like 300. I remember fourth for sure was about 700, so fifth would probably be about 500. Sixth was around 400, so seventh place was probably worth about 350 there. So not an insignificant score for a $10 buy-in or $11 buy-in. So we get a raise and a call. Wow. Wow. I forgot how quick this went. This guy hits a set versus top pair and just knocks another guy out instantly. And now he has just this massive 4 million stack. So this is actually a really good thing for us. When a guy has all the chips and then it's just a bunch of mid stacks, we can kind of navigate pretty easy on that kind of dynamic. Let's refresh our HUDs. Don't know why that doesn't automatically do that. And we have Jack 10. Just going to see a flop. And we get a gen turn card, so we're just going to call again. I think raising here is the best play, honestly. I don't know why we shouldn't have played that so passive. I think we're just trying to look for the low-hanging fruit, I guess. I mean, that's just kind of... I think that was a little bit of low-hanging fruit there, though, so I think we should be playing that aggressively. If not raising pre-flop, we should definitely be betting or raising at some point in that hand. But we pick up the ace-king, and we get a shove. I mean, there's nothing else to do. This hand plays itself. Hopefully we can win again. And we do win a race again, so, man, we're doing just fine on this final table so far. We're up to 1.8 million. And basically tied with second place, I think. So we're kind of in command of our destiny here now. So we're five-handed. I think first place plays 500 right now, so we're okay with busting right now. So we're definitely going to turn it up a notch here. I'm fine with the way we play that. Nothing really else to say there. Oh wow, kings. I had forgotten how many hands I must have picked up here. So we shove 1.4 and get a fold. Back up to 1.8. Raising again. And we're just going to fold. This guy's the big stack. Well, it's kind of unfortunate, but we'll just... I mean, he showed us a big hand, so I don't think he's necessarily doing that light. But we're going to check back for pot control here, I'm pretty sure. And try to get one or two streets out of him. We don't, unfortunately. Get a walk, that's always nice. Yeah, we just shove now. There's nothing else to do. Looks like we're going to be a card rack and hit every single flop. And we do hold again on a 4 flush board. Suddenly we're 2.4 million with, I guess it's 4 players left now. So we're just going to play a few more hands here. And maybe get down to 3-handed before we... Because I think the final 3-handed play took a lot of time to get through. I think I've basically played half my tournament so far, if that gives you any kind of relative idea of what's going on. I think I've only played about half my hands, so maybe a little more than half. So I don't really care for the fold there, although it's not horrible. Just because of how dynamic. It's going to be hard. There's not really many turn cards we're going to be able to continue on anyway, so we might as well just get out now. Although I hate flopping pairs and folding. I think we just... How many blinds does this guy have? Yeah. I keep having to refresh HUDs. I think shoving is fine, but whatever. Yeah, just a raise is fine too. I think we're a little bit too deep maybe to shove. So we're just going to see a flop here, lead our top pair. I'm sure we're going to just go for a bet check call type thing here. Up to 2.5 million. So we flop a gut shot. I like the bet. We don't really have showdown value, so it's pretty standard stuff. And we'll just let him take that one. Blind versus blind. Flop an 8. It's kind of awkward. I think we just fold. Bet fold, I think, is the best play. And we're going to raise, call it off. Well, I actually don't think we'll call it off versus this player. Yeah, he's 3-betting quite a bit. I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence here about this one. It is a squeeze, but he has kind of just showed me big hands every time. So I'm fine with a fold. I think conservative is fine. It's just because we have so much equity, so much room to move up. Even if we fold, we're still in second place. So I actually like a fold here. I don't think we need to... Yeah, and he shows kings, so... I don't think we need... If it was like we had a million chips and these guys had 2 million, then I would shove there. But I think our position in the tournament is more important than just trying to gamble. So we flop a set. So I think a small bet, which kind of maybe a little too big there, but man, we're a card wreck. And that's the good thing about folding too, is all it takes is just one raise and take. And and we're good. I mean, we're back to where we were already, so. So I'm gonna bet big just to try, and this guy is really kind of sticky in the blinds, so I think betting a little bigger is better. Especially with air, virtual air. We're just kind of maintaining a stack here. We just kind of want to just keep chipping away, let these guys whittle down. We don't even care if this guy gets more chips. We just want these guys to get shorter and shorter while we maintain, and then one of these guys just goes out, and then we're three-handed, and we know what to do three-handed. This guy seems to be fighting for a lot of hands. Wow, aces. Okay, I think we just raise and get it in. Yeah, I like the call down here, and I like a raise on this river, just because he can almost never have a 10. So we want to get value from a jack. So I think we make it like 500,000 here. Maybe a little too small, but whatever. He flopped 2 pair against our aces too, isn't that kind of sick? We could have lost our whole stack there. So we're kind of fortunate in that spot, not just to pick up aces, but to fade 2 pair like we did. We're open-ended here. I like the line. I think we just have to call this because we have the right price. And we brick, so I guess we're done with the hand. So we're kind of, this guy's kind of pwning us a little bit. That's okay though. And once again, I think this guy's just been showing us the nuts. Even though he seems to be doing this a lot, I think we just play conservative versus him. I think we're taking enough steals down that we don't have to continue in those spots. Might seem a little bit crazy to some people out there, but and so we get a heart draw. I think we just call here, take the conservative route again, and if we complete, we obviously can go for value at that point. I like the check back because now we're going to go for a little value on the river. I think shoving is fine, but I actually like a min raise here just because I don't think he calls a shove if he doesn't have a at least a pair, a top pair. So I want to get value from a jack, so I think we just min raise here. Why would I just call? I don't know what I'm doing just calling there. Maybe I just figured there was no value in shoving or raising. There definitely is though, so that's a mistake. I should be min raising there. Yeah, see, he's gonna call it. That's really bad. So, I mean, I'm just playing really conservative against the guy that can bust me, which I think is a little bit of a mistake in that spot. It's so hard for me to be beat there with take like a huge cooler. Why am I playing so conservative there? So anyways, it's not a huge mistake, but it's still a mistake. And I mean, it's so hard to get this deep in a tournament playing for this amount of money, though I can understand. But this is the time you need to just play your game and go for broke, right? So we'll see a couple more hands here and see what happens. Alright, so we get an all in here. And this guy ended up having kings. Did he slow play or was that a raised pot? Yeah, it was a raised pot. So he flatted with ace-9, hit top pair. Did this guy check shove? Yeah, I guess so. So, okay. So we are down to three-handed. I'll go ahead and end this video there, and we'll turn it into 3 parts. At least 3 parts. I mean, the next... It may actually take 4 parts to end this tournament. We're on hand... I think we're just over halfway through this tournament. Isn't that crazy? I mean, we only have like... Let me refresh this. There's only a total of like 150 big blinds in play. And somehow this tournament lasts another 2 hours or something. Hour and a half, if I remember correctly. Not to skip spoilers, but you guys know I win this anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So... Yeah, so it might take 2 videos to get through the rest, but we'll try for 1 video more and get through this tournament. But yeah, we're in good shape. We're in 3rd place, but we're in a close 3rd place. We're basically, it's a 3-way tie here. And so we're in real good shape going. We feel real confident about our chances here going forward. So, okay. So thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you in the next part.